When we picture artificial intelligence taking over the world, our minds usually jump straight to the movies. We imagine a sudden, violent uprising where a hyper-intelligent machine decides humanity is obsolete and seizes control of the planet. In reality, a system can cause massive disruptions without having feelings, goals, or a soul. A recommendation algorithm can shape public opinion, and a hiring model can filter out qualified candidates without ever becoming conscious. The danger lies in our own psychology. We have a built-in blind spot. We naturally mistake conversational fluency for genuine intelligence. When a machine writes a polished email or speaks with the confident, helpful tone of a librarian, we instinctively trust its wisdom. This trust leads to a quiet takeover, a slow, bureaucratic integration into the mundane systems we rely on every single day. We invite this integration through our desire for convenience. To avoid friction, we voluntarily hand over human territory, our writing, our scheduling, and our daily choices, simply to save a few minutes. We create a vacuum of oversight by abandoning our critical judgment, handing over control because letting the machine do the work feels easier than doing it ourselves. Modern automation follows a specific pattern. AI rarely eliminates an entire profession overnight. Instead, it systematically replaces individual tasks. On this spectrum, the left side represents repetitive digital chores, things like data entry, sorting emails, or drafting simple reports. On the right, we find complex human judgment, empathy, accountability, and strategy. We start by automating the chores on the left, but the boundary of human control steadily creeps right, eating into our professional territory. Because this creep happens invisibly in the background of our daily workflows, it rarely triggers alarm. A manager approves a software integration or an employee sets up a new shortcut, and the system quietly absorbs a little more authority. Giving up ground one small task at a time, we lose track of the moment a tool crosses the line and begins making autonomous decisions. Consider a small online furniture shop. The owner is drowning in emails, answering repetitive refund questions, tracking delayed delivery updates, and fielding complaints about damage. To manage the load, the owner uses AI to draft basic replies based on the company's return policy. Initially, they maintain control, reviewing every draft before it ever reaches a customer. Immediate efficiency often leads to a slow slide into passivity. Once the owner sees that the AI sounds plausible most of the time, they stop reviewing the drafts to claw back more of their own afternoon. Without human review, the AI begins operating outside its intended bounds. It misinterprets a complaint and authorizes an illegal refund. It promises delivery dates the warehouse can't meet. It misses the nuance of a distressed customer. The system functioned exactly as it was programmed to, but without human guardrails to catch the errors and hallucinations that are baked into the technology. This pattern of prioritizing speed over accountability becomes dangerous when scaled to the entire world. The same logic of laziness applies to corporate hiring algorithms, government benefit distributions, and medical triage systems. Ordinary human operators can cause a disaster simply by choosing convenience, leaving critical systems to run themselves without a human in the loop. The pace of technological change can make an AI-dominated future feel like a foregone conclusion, but a machine-run world is not a predetermined destiny. Everyday users, managers, and policymakers negotiate the trajectory of AI every time they decide when to adopt a tool and when to push back. Maintaining agency requires contestability, the non-negotiable right for humans to have clear ways to challenge and override automated outcomes. We must establish a clear boundary. AI can handle the repetitive generation of data and drafts, but humans must retain absolute authority over meaning, over taste, and high-stakes consequences. Protecting this boundary requires active AI literacy. We must verify machine outputs and question its logic rather than treating confident software as an infallible source of truth. AI will occupy every space we lazily abandon. Our own passivity poses a far greater risk to our human agency than a rogue superintelligence ever could.